Last week, OPEC decided at its meeting to not increase oil production beyond what was already agreed. This was the outcome we expected to happen, and if you want to know why, you can check out our video on that topic from last week. But shortly after OPEC's announcement, comments from the White House suggested that President Biden, he was not very pleased, and he may have to take action. We now have an update on that situation. Will the US be releasing their strategic reserves? What's going to happen next? Let's find out in today's Market Movers Daily. Hey Market Movers, I'm Nicholas Puri. So almost immediately after OPEC's decision, a spokesperson from the White House said, OPEC Plus seems unwilling to use the capacity and power it has now at this critical moment of global recovery for countries around the world. Our view is that the global recovery should not be imperiled by a mismatch between supply and demand. The president believes Americans should have access to affordable energy, including at the pump, and has directed us to continue monitoring the markets and be prepared to use all tools as needed. Saudi Arabia responded to this by saying that OPEC was acting as a responsible regulator. Their energy minister said, "What we've seen over the past few months again and again and again is that energy markets must be regulated, otherwise things will go astray." So this meant that President Biden was likely going to have to back up his words with action. So for the past few days, people have been analysing and speculating what options may be possible. And the one that the market seemed to latch onto was for the US to release some of their own strategic petroleum reserves, SPR. The US has over 600 million barrels held for emergencies and has enough crude to replace all US oil imports from OPEC for over a year. However, it seems that action from President Biden may no longer be needed. The US Energy Information Administration, the EIA, released its short-term energy outlook yesterday. It suggested that by next year, the average global supply will be 101.42 million barrels per day, while demand will be below that at 100.88 million barrels per day. They said, "We forecast that global oil stocks will begin building in 2022, driven by rising production from OPEC Plus and the United States, along with slowing growth in global oil demand. As a result of that, they're forecasting that US benchmark crude will fall below $80 a barrel by December and head lower towards $62 per barrel by the end of 2022. So while things may be tight in the short term, it seems over the medium and long term, they see prices falling without needing to take emergency action." So although their report shows prices dropping next year, oil prices this week have risen on the news, and there's a good chance that they may continue to. Although Biden's administration hasn't made any comment about whether they're going to take action still or not, this report suggests that they won't need to make use of the SPR. So for the time being, it seems that production will still be behind the demand curve. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with the EIA, or do you think that energy prices will remain higher for longer unless they increase supply even more than they currently are? Obviously, you'd expect the EIA will have a fairly good grasp on things, but there are so many other factors at play here. And if you haven't already checked out yesterday's video going through the report from Bridgewater, you might want to have a look at that, because if Bridgewater are right, the problems with energy could get worse into next year. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. You'll also find on screen yesterday's video if you haven't seen that one yet, and also an explainer video if you don't know what OPEC is or what they do. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.